everyone. We want to welcome you today to the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I am your host, Latasha J. Humphrey, and in a moment we're going to jump into this powerful podcast today. But before we get started, we want to let our audience know that this podcast is being brought to you by the Flora Pearl Foundation, where our vision is bridging the gap, building a legacy. Our mission is that we are a 501c3, community-focused nonprofit mentoring organization, building healthy relationships and partnerships between women and girls through education, community service, networking, unification, and career planning. Our inspiration is Flora Pearl Humphrey. She was my paternal grandmother, and what she taught me and my family was about faith, family, and community. And that is where I draw my inspiration from. Now, audience, I have the pleasure to introduce to you an amazing woman. We met some years ago and have had the opportunity to spend countless hours via phone discussing our dreams and passion. She is a champion for women and has overcome so much adversity, which in my eyes makes her a champion. She was honored with our Boss Award in 2014. She is a woman of integrity, compassion, style, and grace. She loves her family and she loves with her heart. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Crystal NeVille. Hi, Crystal. How are you doing?
Hello. How are you today?
Excellent. Well, it is such an honor to have you with us today. And if you would...
to be here.
Oh, awesome. If you would, just go ahead and briefly introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, as you stated, I'm Crystal NeVille. I am the founder and executive director for Speak Life Empowerment Nation, which is a 501c3 stress management, networking, and empowerment event for women. Because as you stated earlier, I am a champion for women. I love doing anything that I can to be a blessing to other women because I've been through so much. I'm a mother of 4 beautiful children, grandmother of 4 beautiful grandchildren, and I've been married, say, in October, 30 years. So
All
God
right.
has really blessed me, and I'm a minister of the gospel.
Cool. All right. 30 years. Okay. Look, I love it. We're gonna definitely.
That is God.
Hey, we'll touch that later on in the podcast, even dealing with marriage. But I definitely right now want to kind of jump into the podcast as it relates to, like you said, what you do with the Speak Life Nation. Of course, on your website, it states that it's a faith-based wellness organization that celebrate, rejuvenate, and inspire women through life events. And so even for you, you have gone through different experiences and have endured, divorce, depression, and domestic violence. And that's some things that we actually have talked about. And so I want you to kind of talk on Speak Life Nation to give our audience even more insight on it. And just, tell why is this such your passion? Like, why is that the case?
Well, back in 2010, I really felt a pull in my heart from God to actually start this endeavor. At first, it was called High Noon Stress Buster.
Okay.
And because it was all about wanting women to have this place that they can really alleviate the negative effects of stress. My mom, she actually died from a heart attack, with a heart attack versus and a stroke combined. And I understand that stress contributes to the number 1 killer of women, which is heart disease. But women, we are such champions that no matter what's going on, we keep on moving. We keep on pushing. We keep on doing whatever it is that we need to do and not think about ourselves a lot of times because we're natural nurturers. It's all about taking care of the other person. So I really felt in my heart to do something to celebrate women, do something that women can have this place for themselves that they can, I like to call it a woosah moment. Just come, honey, and let your hair down, so to speak, and kick your shoes off if you want to. Just have a good time and just have something that's for you. So that was the birth of then it was called, like I said, High Noon Stress Buster. About 2 years ago, I was challenging my spirit to change the name.
Okay.
And there is the birth now of Speak Life Nation because God started dealing with me that what you're doing, you're actually speaking lives and to the women. I was focused on the stress component And he switched my mindset in regards to, but what you're doing, though, you're actually speaking life into the women that I bless you to encounter and to be a part of. So.
Wow. Okay. And so even with that, would you even, even deciding to change the name, like you say, it kind of shifted for you. How comfortable were you with doing that? I know you definitely, like you say, you received a call from God to basically kind of a nudge to say, hey, change that over. And in doing that change, though, how I guess, how was it for you even in doing that?
Really, it was a relief.
Okay.
It was truly like a rebirth. I mean, the atmosphere of the event totally changed.
Gotcha.
So now it's actually birthed. And before we were just an annual event. Changing the name, going in a different direction. Now God has birthed it to be a organization. So now that we're actually having our online presence and being more available to women, to have our social gathering where we meet more often, to have things that women can come together and have a good time. Our very first one, we got together in a group of us and we went and saw Wonder Woman. So anything that we feel that can empower women and they have a good time, and leave the children for a few moments and leave the husband or your work that you have going on, and come and just relax your mind and have fun, because our basics, even though it's stress and that's a medical thing, but we focus on the fun part about it, because when I did the research, it stated that laughter is a very great deterrent for stress.
Yes.
Just simple laughter, just to have some fun. So that's what we focus on. So actually changing the name, it has been a very great experience to do that.
Okay. And are there any events that are coming up so you can share? Just put that out there.
Well, in August, it's going to be online. We're going to do our week of inspiration, where I'll be talking to about 5 different women in regards to their journey in life and how to inspire women in that regard. In November, we will have our annual event, which will be 8 years. Latasha, we've been doing this for 8 years.
Good for you.
I am so grateful to God. So we'll be celebrating our 8th annual Speak Life Empowerment Summit, which will be held in Helena, Alabama on November the 4th. So I'm excited about it.
That is awesome. In
September, we're going to have I think it's going to be a party on the rooftop, but I have to get more information back to you in that regard. But that's to be in September.
Cool beans. Well, definitely congratulations. That is all right. And number 8 is new beginnings. So that definitely is a beautiful thing. That is the number for that. So I definitely congratulate you on that and just pray many blessings your way. So thank you for sharing about that. And we're going to segue into the topic as it relates to relationships. And life pretty much has taught me that, relationships, they play a major part, in our lives, whether it's romantic, platonic, family, or professional, and as I look back over my life, I see where some relationships challenged me for the better and then some not so much. And I want to know, in your opinion, what makes a solid relationship no matter the dynamics?
Communication and loyalty for me.
Okay.
I need to be able to talk to you. You need to be able to talk with me. And I need to be secure in the loyalty. So for me, that would be it for me.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you, just kind of follow up with that, even with, what you're doing, because, and our, our mission, it deals a lot with just building those relationships and partnerships between women and girls. And so I do want to know, with it, I know with Speak Life Nation and just the relationships that are being built, how easy is it for you, like even in building those relationships and the relationships you see being built, how successful is that?
To be honest, it can be a challenge, sometimes because, we all coming from different backgrounds, different, upbringing, different mindsets, some even different faiths. So it can be a challenge. But when you look at the goal that you're really, being used by God to help women to have that time for themselves, you have to push past it and keep on moving, keep on doing what's necessary. But you have to build a relationship. You have to do whatever is necessary. Sometimes you have to be that phone call in the middle of the night when you ready to go to sleep, or you have to be the one to get in your car and drive across town to actually talk with somebody because they feel like they just need somebody that they feel that they can just release to. So you just have to be whatever God will have for you to be for a person, especially the women.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Well, we're going to move into our topic. It's called Culture Vibes. And basically, it's a kind of a way that we get different topics within our culture, just maybe what's popular, what's going on social media, or kind of topics that may be trending. And so on yesterday, we had, I saw a post, and Diddy, pretty much Sean, Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, he posted on Twitter, it was a simple post. It says, shout out to Black women just because ... And that was pretty much the post that were, he got a lot of support, of course, from Black women. But there were other races of women, or just other comments I saw where some people were like, why couldn't it be all women? Why does it have to be this? And, my stance, of course, as it relates to like melanin, I say melanin love, or just the self-love. I feel like you have to love yourself and know how to do that before loving others. But just that shout out period, I kind of want to get your take on it. And what are your thoughts as it relates to maybe some of the comments or backlash that he got from it?
Well, we can't be, naive to the fact that African Americans have really had issues in America. So for someone of that status to say what he said, I don't see anything at all wrong with it. It wasn't a dismiss to any other culture at all. At least I don't believe that would be his intention. At least that's what I would assume, that it wouldn't be his intention to dismiss anybody. So for him to do that, why not? I mean, I actually saw a post in regards to Michelle Obama, our former First Lady.
Yeah.
And she talked about the issues that she had, even as the First Lady of the free world, and the problems that she encountered in regards to just the color of her skin.
Right.
She is the First Lady of the United States of America. How she stated how she cannot get into some places, even as of today, just because the color of her skin.
Right.
So for this man to actually give a shout out to the Black women in America, the Black women across the world, I see nothing at all wrong with that. I celebrate my white sisters, my Hispanic sisters, my Asian sisters, Filipino, Indian, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
I celebrate them all.
Yeah.
Speak Life is actually a multicultural organization.
Absolutely.
However, I am not blinded to the fact that Black women in America have a hard time. So
right.
I don't see a problem with it at all.
Right. And that's how I feel too. I'm so grateful, you saying it just like that, because loving, self doesn't mean anti anything. And I think that
exactly.
We have to really keep, putting that out there, because that's just not the case, and even as it relates to, like you were saying with First Lady, former First Lady, I saw something like that too. And it's like, it's real. It's not something that we're trying to, we're just conjuring up, or we're making be something else. I mean, it is what it is. And that's my issue sometimes too, with not even addressing what the issue is, or kind of head on really seeing it, or not want to push it under the rug. This is an issue.
Right.
And until we face it head on, I believe, we'll continue to have, this type of stance, or, just people having an issue with you loving you. And I'm thinking, even for him, I'm like, he has a African-American mom, and he also has 3 daughters,
Wow.
And as well as 2 different like moms. One is by a twin, he has a set of twins by one lady, and then another daughter with another, and they're kind of around the same age. another African American mom. So it's kind of like this is who he's surrounded by anyway. If nothing else but for his daughters, it's like, really? But it is what it is. And I just, I appreciated it. So that was kind of my stance on it, but I wanted to kind of see what your take was.
Well, everybody else can celebrate who they are and their culture without a problem.
Right.
But for whatever reason, it's a problem when Black people stand up and celebrate who they are and take ownership to it. Once again, Speak Life is a multicultural organization.
Yeah.
I welcome all women of all colors. I have no problem with it, and even all faith. However, I'm not blinded to
what's going on. Right. Well, thank you for putting your spin on it. So we do appreciate it. And and we want to move into the segment as it relates to your audience and your people, and that's kind of what you even just touched on with your organization being multicultural and just period, like just who your audience is. How do you believe just your audience, your people, have attributed to your success as it relates to your org?
Well, bringing women together, and I believe that will help with this issue that we just briefly talked about in regards to the race situation. I believe that when we bring all people together and we can begin to build camaraderie with one another, then we can begin to understand who each other are. We all bleed red blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all put on our pants one leg at a time. I don't believe it's one person better than anyone else. And with that saying, that's how I feel that the community of Speak Life actually is helping even me. Let's just bring everybody together. I want the white ladies to join. I want the Hispanic ladies. I want the Asian women, all women to come together, and we make a difference in this world together. So that's my set goal with this, and this is how they are helping me. That's how it's blessing it.
Right. No, that's beautiful. And what would you speak to, someone, even if like you were saying, that inclusion is good as well. Definitely with the audience that you have, but someone who's wanting to kind of follow in your steps as it relates to that, what are maybe a couple of key elements that you could share with them if they're wanting to build a multicultural organization?
Just do it.
Okay.
Just do it. It's nothing that's worth doing is easy to do, just point blank bottom line. But if this is something that God is laying on your heart to do, go out there and do it. I'm very real with people that I meet. I had lunch with a lady the other day, one of my white sisters, and I said, I need some more white people. I need some more white people to
I love it.
Go get your friends.
Right. I love it.
Go get your friends and connect them to Speak Life, because that's one of the things that I know God had in my heart is to make this multicultural. This is not just for Black women. This is for women, And once again, as I stated earlier, I'm very passionate about that. I believe if we bring all women together, because we're the neck of a situation. Yeah, our men are the head, but we're the neck of a situation. And how does a head turn? Okay?
Right.
It's by that neck going whichever way. So we can begin to build that camaraderie, because I'm real big on building camaraderie.
Yeah.
If I can rub shoulders with my white sister and my Hispanic sister and my Asian sister, and we begin to understand, y'all not too much different than me. And then we on the other end, and they're not too much different than I am.
See?
And we begin to understand that. Girl, please. Yeah, just do it. We need a whole bunch of them out there. Let's get it going. Come on, let's get it done.
Yeah. And just on the heels of that too, I went to a race forum. It was about race and visual arts. It was a conversation for change. And it was hosted by one of my sister friends, Marie King. And so, but with it though, there was a multicultural audience. There wasn't just and what I loved about it, and that's what we were saying, one of the guys who is Caucasian, a white guy, he basically was just like, he said, the conversations that need to be had are with people, he said, like, that look like him, where he was saying where he may come get that information, but then address certain things that come up amongst, people that he's around,
Right.
And that's what I said too. That's what it's about. It's about you getting that information, because we can do it as far as, dealing with racism. It has to be where we all buy into, where for those of us who at least will, that we then stand up in the midst of the circles that we're in,
Exactly.
And so that's what brings about a change. So that's why I love, even what you're doing, because even when I've come to the events, that's what it was. It was women, of all races or color, creed. Like, it wasn't just one dynamic. And I love that too. And they were excited to be there. Everybody, and participated. Everybody laughed, fun. And just like you said, we see that we bleed the same. So I thank you for, what you're doing as it relates to that, because we definitely need to support, one another, and also be able to bring all of us together, because we are, we're women, period.
Right.
So, and that's how we're able to do it, with building those relationships and supporting each other. So,
exactly.
So awesome. Well, we're going to segue, and it's kind of off the heels as far as success, though, the topic of success. But I wanted to know, how do you define success? What does success mean to you?
Okay. Success to me is commitment. You just got to be committed at what your passion is, what you believe your purpose is in life. Be committed at it. Success to me is not a dollar bill amount. It's not how much you have in your bank account. It's about how committed you are, how diligent you are, and how effective you are at doing whatever it is that you're called to do.
Yeah.
Putting your whole heart into it.
Mm-hmm. And just like you were saying too, even as it relates to the dollar amount and just things like that, I saw a post the other day, and it was saying that it said everyone's not called to nations. There's some people you're called to families, you're called to communities, counties,
right.
And I know you kind of hear that when you think success. It's like everybody wants to, and I said, my thing was everybody won't be Beyonce.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're the dancer that stood next to her, and it's okay. Like, you can still use your platform. And so,
exactly.
But just like what you're saying, what are your thoughts on that? Do you believe that too?
Yes, I was talking to someone the other day, and I was telling them, I said, what did God tell us to consider the ant? And I actually was thinking about that. I said, okay, now in the colony of ants, you have the workers. That's going to be the workers. They cannot be the queen ant. Mm-hmm. Everybody has their place. If everybody in the world was going to be Beyonce, who would be the fans in the audience?
My. All right now.
If everybody in the world would be Beyonce, who would be the ticket holder or the ticket person to get the tickets? Who would park the cars? Everybody can't be at the top. The Bible tells us to consider the ant. And when you think about ants, they all have their certain positions, their certain part to play to make the whole thing great.
See? Yeah. And that's
so
the thing too.
We have to know. Be comfortable in what you're called to do,
right.
and do it well.
Right.
Whatever that may be. My mom used to tell me all the time, or tell us, my sister and I, if you had one skirt, honey, it's no reason in the world that it has to be dirty. You make sure you clean that skirt, you iron that skirt, and you make sure you look good when you go outside the door. Whatever you have in your hand, make sure you use it to the best of your ability. Do it well, and you're successful.
That's beautiful. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what is what do you believe is the best way to achieve long-term success?
Commitment. Just keep going. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be naive to the fact that discouragement will come and frustration will come and all those things will come. And let me tell you about frustration. It comes a lot of time when you get your eyes off of what you're doing and start looking at what other people are doing.
See, don't you start now. Look.
Okay? So, and if you can see me, you'll see my hand is up, like if I'm in the classroom.
Right, we said me.
So, you keep your eyes on what God have told you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You you do what he told you to do well to the best of the ability that he's given you. Make sure that you're not considered that wicked servant, because he talked about the one, because I love the story in the Bible where he talks about the 5 talents, the 2 talents, and the 1 talent.
Okay.
Okay, now, how come he didn't give all of them 5 talents?
All right.
He gave 1 5. So he got 5 different talents. Come on. And another one he gave 2.
Okay.
So the one with the 2 talent could be looking at the one with the 5 talents. Well, how come I didn't get 3 more talents so I can have 5 talents like you? I'm sorry, that was God. He did that. Hello? Mm-hmm. But then you have that one that he gave that 1 talent to. That was so busy thinking, this is me now paraphrasing, so busy thinking about the one with the 2 talent and the 5 talent. And also even thinking about what God may say. So he did nothing with his talent. So then he had to come back and say, wait a minute, you are a wicked servant. But he tried to justify what he did and say, but you know what? I know that you are a hard taskmaster, and I know that you wanted this and you wanted that. And the Lord was like, no. I just needed you to do something with what I gave you. Right. And you did nothing. Right. So now you are considered a wicked servant. He could have called him anything, Latasha, but he called him wicked. That speaks to me a lot. So do the best with what God has given you to the best of your ability. Right.
And who's to say in your arena you're not, at the top in what you're doing in your sphere of influence?
Exactly.
You don't have to be to the nations is what I mean. Even when I said that, everybody want to be Beyonce. And that's because she has touched nations. But I'm thinking like maybe yours is called to families. Maybe,
right.
You're to get families together to help heal
right.
Those relationships and help, heal counties or cities, just maybe right. That's what you've been called to do. And even when you talked about the talents, just maybe he gave you what you were capable of handling. Because if he gave you 5, what if 5 you wouldn't know what to do with 5 for real?
Exactly.
We think we would because we like, that's just like, and that's why I was laughing when you said that. You said you looking over at somebody else. Excuse you, like you need to focus on the 1 or 2 you have before you looking over there. So I love it. Thank you for touching on that. And I wanted to ask you too, like you were saying with just kind of just being able to focus in on what you have as it relates to fear, that may come, like you were saying on the road, just even the frustrations and things like that. How do you manage fear, though?
You really can't manage fear. You have to override fear. Okay. You can't play with it.
I got you.
Because to me, to manage it means that you really, you in my head, you're playing with it. Okay. You can't play with it. I remember Joyce Meyer said a long time ago, sometimes you just got to do it afraid.
I love it.
Yeah. But you got to do it. You got to keep moving. And once again, I'm not trying to say that it is easy.
Yeah.
But let me speak in regards to 30 years of marriage and 8 years in with Speak Life, and 8 years in with our other business, Christian Brother Janitorial Service. Honey, it's been a whole lot of times I've been afraid. A whole lot of times I wanted just to draw up and not do nothing. But I have no desire to be that wicked servant. So you have to keep moving.
I love it. And just with you just touching on that, we're going to move into the topic dealing with marriage. And I wanted to ask the question. I love to talk with our guests who are married and kind of just get their thoughts on a few things. How did you know your husband was the one?
Girl, please. I didn't know. I have no fairy tale story for you right there. I did not know. Look, 5 years in, I'm still looking at him sideways. 10 years in, like, Lord have mercy. But God, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell you, but God, I'm going to give the ladies the other perspective of it. I'm not going to give them.
No, come on with it. Come on.
We went to the sunset and we just, no. Not at all. But God, that's what I'm going to say. We are 2 people that love the Lord, desire to do it His way, and God has blessed us to October the 17th. It will be 30 years. So I'm grateful to God that He has keeping power when your flesh want to say something different. Because as I've said to a lot of people, love is not about the butterfly feelings that you may feel or may not feel in your stomach, honey. Love is more about the commitment. Because everybody is a human being and we're all going to be different. So you may or may not get along every day, But if you have a commitment with somebody that you are my life partner, we did this before God, and we're going to make this work. Two people agreeing on the same path will give you success.
Beautiful. So what pearls of wisdom could you give particularly to a single woman who's, anxious or, and I have to share for me, at one point, I looked at marriage as an idol because, you're kind of raised, this is what you aspire to do. Even as a younger girl, of course, depending on certain environments, but that was the thing, okay, so you're going to be married. Well, after a certain point, it got to be where I wasn't yet, and of course, within recent years, I embraced my singleness, and it's one of the most beautiful things to be able to do. But I had to get to that place and not look at it any longer like this was the ultimate goal, or like I said, I shared before in another podcast. I was saying how singleness is not a holding cell to the gates of marriage. Like but I want you definitely. I feel like in being married, you can speak to a single woman who's on that anxious side, or who may be looking at marriage as an idol, or desires to be married one day. What are some pearls of wisdom you can share with her?
First of all, let her know that she's good enough all by herself. So why do you feel that you just have to be married? When God brings the person for you, then that's when God would do that. But you don't need somebody. I hear people say about, they marry their other half and that person complete them. No, you're complete by yourself. God made you complete.
Yeah.
God made you good enough. And then another person coming into the mix, that's just what maybe God choose for you. Everybody, let's go back to the ant. Everybody's not going to get married. Some people are going to stay single. And it is God's plan in this earth. So how about we just learn how to be good with who we are, where we are. Be content. I think it was Paul that talks about being content in whatever state that you're in. And when you learn to be content wherever you are, doing the best what you can do with the life that God has given you, you never know. A Boaz may come your way.
Right.
But if you're so busy looking for him, when a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, because he's going to find you while you out there doing the thing that God called you to do. So you just be good where you are. You be good serving wherever you're serving. You be good, following after the destiny that God has for you to have. Then if he decides to bring another person in, okay, I'm good with that too. Be flexible. Be like that palm tree. Whichever way you want to bend it, I'm willing to bend with it. But when you have that mindset, you got to go this way. You got to go. What are you doing at that point? The Bible say be anxious for something.
Nothing.
He say be anxious for nothing.
That's right.
And he meant that because he knows what's best for us.
Yeah.
And let me, because this is my second marriage. My first one lasted 1 year. Big flop, being anxious.
Okay.
Never again. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, that's real. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it. We're going to move into the topic that we call mother-daughter bonds, and it's a series of questions that I love to ask, and I believe it encourages conversations among mothers and daughters, but it definitely is also a good way for our audience to get to know our guests. So are you ready? Okay. Well, the first one I wanted to ask was, how did your relationship with your mother prepare you to become the woman that you are today?
It prepared me a lot. I had a wonderful mother.
Awesome.
I lost my mother in my early 20s.
Okay.
I'm not going to cry. But I lost my mom in my early 20s. But my mom was great. She actually, like you talked about earlier, it's a thing to get married or whatever. She trained my sister and I how to be a good wife. That was her thing.
Okay.
To train us in that regard. I was born in the 60s, so that was that was a thing. And then she was a hard working woman. She was an entrepreneur. She just was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, was she tough? Heck, yeah. Whipped our butts like crazy. I mean, she expected the best from us. This woman had us in charm school where we had to point our toes, put the book on our head. I mean, once again, this is the 60s and the 70s, so, but this is the type mom I had. Like, you know, you will be a lady. You know, you will do this. It wasn't like you could go out there and do none of the other crazy stuff. You know, I will hurt you before I let you, you know.
Right.
But when I look back on it now, I can't give nothing but a whole bunch of praise to Mary Lee Jenkins. Yeah.
Now, with your mom, you said she was an entrepreneur. What did she do?
My mom owned a local grocery store.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I grew up with our names on buildings. You know, I grew up in a two-parent home, and my mom owned Jenkins Grocery Store. That's my maiden name. And my dad owned Jenkins Trucking and Leasing. So I grew up with my parents owning their own business.
Wow. Wow. Do you feel like that that influenced you to own your own as well?
Heck yeah.
Well,
I never had the mindset of thinking I was going to work on a job and retire and get a watch. I'm like, really? Keep your watch. I don't want it. But, you know, to each their own. You know, once again, go back to the ants. You know, if everybody are entrepreneurs, we had never have anybody to work in the business. So, but yeah, it really inspired me.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, what superpower would you like to have?
I can only choose one.
Yes. Look, because you. Look, how many would you want to choose? No, just choose one.
Girl, look, I may be 55 in November, but I promise you, I am a Marvel girl. Any Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, I love them all.
Do you?
Okay, a superpower. Which one? You got me. I guess the ability to... See, I got so many in my head. Okay. I'm trying. I really am. Oh, you stumped me with that one. I want to be able to know the future.
Okay. All right.
Since you're making me just say one.
Yes.
That's not fair.
That's fine.
Okay.
Look, that's a good one. Okay. What would you say to a woman with a broken heart?
Say what now?
What would you say to a woman with a broken heart?
Give yourself time to heal. And it's okay. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you went through what you went through.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're in this place right now and it doesn't feel good and you don't think that you'll be able to see a brighter day, but you will. Trust me that you will. Been there, done that several times over. But just know that no matter what, it's okay. Nobody can tell you how long to go through the process that you need to go through. But here's the key. Make sure you're going through the process. Don't stay stuck in that moment of the pain. Because sometimes the enemy will capture you there and you'll never break free. So as long as you're going through the process, go after your healing. Constantly praying, telling God, I want to heal. Help me to learn from this so I won't be here again. Help me to get out of this what I need to get out of this. Because all things work together for the good. So it's going to only make you into who God has for you to be. It wasn't meant to kill you. It wasn't meant to take you out. But go through the process.
Okay. And if you could talk to one person from history, who would it be and why?
Harriet Tubman!
Okay.
Harriet Tubman. I mean, hey, come on. She had it going on. I mean, in spite of it all, she went through, and I'm like, I'm going to help these people. I'm going to help my people. my people. I'm going to help them. They're not going to stay right here. They don't even know that they can be free. They don't even know that something is better waiting for them. So I'm going to help. I'm going to push them towards their greatness. Harriet Tubman.
Beautiful. What book has inspired you the most?
Who Moved My Cheese?
Okay.
Who Moved My Cheese? It's about these three little rats. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that book?
I have. I've read it.
Yeah, I like Who Moved My Cheese. I mean, because one of them was just stuck. He just didn't think he can get out of there.
Yeah. No, share with our audience though, like, because there may be some people who have not. So what, you were saying about the three characters.
The three little rats. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Share with the audience about the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was about these three little rats, and they had to go through, I'm going to say it this way, they had to go through this process of getting to the other side. But one of the little rats just didn't think he could do it. But two of them, one of them was kind of shaky, and one of them was like, I got it, we can do it. So you have one that just feel like he couldn't do it. You had another one like, I think we can do it. And then you had that other one like, we can do it. So I like the combination, because to me that's how we are in life. We have those moments where I just can't do it. Then we may say, okay, I got a little bit more strength. I can do it. And then you like the real engine that could. I can do it. So to me, that's what I get out of that book.
Awesome. Who has been your greatest inspiration?
Besides God, I guess I would say my parents.
Okay.
My parents.
What's the most important lesson that you've learned within the last year?
I have a hashtag that I started using, and it said, fight for my freedom. And that's it. We have to fight for our freedom.
I love it.
It's not going to always be easy, but we can do it. And with the help of the Lord, we can do all things. That's what he promised us. But you can't sit there and just waddle in wherever you are. You have to fight for your freedom. So that's been it for me. Fight for your freedom.
Okay. What is something that every woman should try once in her lifetime?
Being silly. just do you, baby, unapologetically. If you just want to go out there and do something real crazy, just do it, because we so concerned about, is my hair right? Is my lipstick on? Do my clothes look good? Just do something to be absolutely free, whatever it may be. Just do it. Just be free. Yeah.
I love it. What is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Girl, being an entrepreneur is hard work. But my favorite aspect, I guess, would be my freedom, that I can set my own schedule. Yeah. Setting my own schedule.
Okay. What would a perfect day for you look like?
You ask some good questions.
Good.
Okay. A perfect day for me would be to get up, spend my time with my Father, the Lord, have a very productive day in my business, be able to spend some time laughing with a friend on the phone or in person, then having some quality time with my family, and there's my day.
Okay. What keeps you grounded?
God. My faith in God.
Okay. What are 3 qualities that got you where you are today?
Tenacity. Is that a quality?
Yeah.
Okay. My faith. And I guess stubbornness go with tenacity, huh?
Right.
not giving up, just fighting through it.
I call it strong-willed. I'm not a fan of the word stubborn, but I'm just saying you're strong-willed.
Strong-willed. Okay. Yeah. Positive spin.
We'll go with that one. Right.
To me, I look at life that the enemy is trying to make me quit or trying to make me do something else, and I'm like, but I cannot make my God ashamed. So it forces me to keep moving because, the story about Job, how he was trying to make him fall or whatever. It's like, but I got to hold on to the promises of God because I cannot make my God ashamed. And when we do things that's contrary to his will, he said we crucify him afresh. So I have no desire to crucify my Lord afresh. So that helps me to hold on and keep pushing and make sure that I represent him well in this earth because we are his ambassadors.
Awesome. And if you were conducting this interview, what is a question that you would ask you?
You are amazing, young lady. You are amazing.
Oh, praise God.
Well, what question would I ask me? Okay. I don't know. You have all the questions.
It's something.
You did an amazing job. I don't see anything I could add to it. I mean, nothing is coming to mind. I mean,
Okay.
You hit every nail was hit.
Well, that's fair. Okay. Well,
I have nothing.
Well, good stuff. Well, that segment was awesome. We're gonna move into community service, and I wanted you, to share with us ways that you're giving back to the community. And definitely, I mean, a big part of it is Speak Life. But are there any other ways that you're working within the community?
I do whatever I feel that where I see a need, I will give to a need. Donation of clothes, helping with book bags. Helping feeding someone that may be hungry, any kind of way that I hear of a situation that I could possibly help in a small way or a big way, that's what I do. Because I believe that we are here to give back. We are God's hands. We are his hugs, his smiles. We are him in the earth. So, yeah, anywhere that I can.
I love it. Well, we're going to move into the faith segment, and I just wanted you to share a time when your faith has been tested and how you came through it. And this basically just gives the opportunity for, our audience to be encouraged.
I've had several times that my faith has been tested. The death of my parents was really, really hard. Like I said, we were, my sister and I were very young, so that was very much a challenge. And I was in the military at the time, so I was away from home, and it was very hard to not be around family or not having family around, and to go through something very hard like that, and the loss of my baby. It challenged my faith a lot because it was a lot of things that happened, say, within a 2-year period. My stepbrother was gunned down and murdered. 5 months later, my dad was gunned down and murdered. 5 months later, my mom had a massive heart attack, got divorced and married within that 2-year span, and I lost a baby. So I had a lot of times that my faith was very much challenged. And I have to say that God knows how to meet you where you are, because there was nothing that I could do for myself during those times. I cannot say that I prayed 5 prayers and I chanted 3 scriptures and I did this, that, and the third. I was a mess. I was a mess. But God came in and helped. In regards to my baby, I was 5.5 months pregnant, Natasha, and my baby died in March.
Jesus.
But he did not come out into April. I carried my baby dead for 2 weeks and knowing that he was dead. They released me from the hospital carrying a dead baby because they tried to induce labor, and for whatever reason, he would not come out. So when I can promise people that God knows how to keep your mind in the midst of horrific ordeals, he can. He can. Challenge faith, been there, done that, got a badge with it. But God, he is the restorer. It's a struggle sometimes when I just think about some of the things that I've had to endure, being involved in domestic violence and and he was a minister.
Yeah, that's deep. Yeah.
And he was a minister of the gospel and wanted to fight on Saturday nights and preach on Sunday mornings. Talking about faith being challenged, it was like the enemy did everything that he could to try to get me just to turn my back on God. But God said not so. He kept me in the midst of it all and still keeps me as of this day. So the only thing I can say is getting up every morning telling them, but I desire to serve you, Lord. I desire to do your will. And having that inner thing on the inside, holding on, that spirit man holding on to the hands of God. Like, I desire to do this. I can't in my own. My flesh is weak, but my spirit is strong. He brings you out.
Wow. And we've shared, and you elaborated a little bit more. I know we've shared, some years before about that. And I'm just saying the fact that you're able to laugh, that's a powerful thing. And like you were saying with your mind, you have your right mind. It's not something that it's just the power of God. The power of the human spirit is amazing to me.
Nothing but God. I have no mindset to take not 1 ounce of credit. Not 1 ounce of credit. To get up every morning and to put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Nobody know but God. So I that's what I can tell anybody. Yeah, it may be devastating where you are right now, but I promise you, just to have, just muster up enough, Lord, help me. Lord, please deliver me. Lord, Jesus, I call on you. Just to muster up just enough. Sometimes you may not be able to even open up your mouth to say it, but your mind is saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he promised us, he said, I know the thoughts that I think towards you. He said, they are thoughts of peace and not of evil. It's the enemy that wants you to think that it's evil. And I promise you, I've been there. I've been so angry at God. I'm like, what the world? It cannot be a God for me to be going through what I'm going through.
Yeah. Whoa.
It cannot be a God. This is so unfair.
Mm-hmm.
So unfair. But then here, speak life.
That's why I'm like, just even tying in with that. This is you. I mean, you definitely, when people talk about certain things they're connected to or why, I just believe, like you said, the speak life, like even changing that name, I can see that. I can see why. Because just like you said, it's not just about stress. I mean, you just within your life itself, you have come full circle. Just all the way to where you can then speak life into someone else. Because I know there have been people who they didn't make it.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, I can't say, they didn't stand on their faith enough. They didn't whatever. I can't vouch for that. But what I do know is that, we have Crystal standing here today, being able to say that all of this and being able to talk about it and literally, like you said, well, no, not even to cry. You could get it out and you can share it, and say, but God, like this and this.
But let me say this, and I'm not trying to make it seem like it's easy, that I still don't have my times of crying and I still don't have my times of whatever. Still don't even have my times of doubt. Mm-hmm. But just know that it's the enemy that fights against our mind to want to keep us in a perplexed place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said, but nothing, check this out, he said, but nothing should separate me from the love of God. And I wish I could find that scripture right quick, but I can't find that scripture. But it talks about being perplexed. It talked about all these different things. So if he's mentioning that, he's letting us know that you may go through those things.
Right. Yeah.
You may go through a period in your time where you feel perplexed. How come perplexed? That make you feel hopeless.
Right. Yeah.
But then you'll wake up a year from now and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm still here. But in that moment, You thought it would be no way in the world. I remember telling my husband, I said, you're going to wake up to a dead woman. I'm going to take every pill that's on the side of this bed. And I'm going to end this.
Uh-huh.
I'm
That's
going to end
real.
this. That enough of this. This makes no sense. This is so unfair. Once again, no, but God. So when I hear women talking about being so hurt from abuse, you know, I've never been really, really sexually abused, not to the point of rape, but I've been challenged on so many levels.
Right.
So to sit here in my office now and talk to you and be able to say it with a sense of strength that he gave me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't give this to myself.
Right.
That he gave me. I want to tell any woman out there, you can make it. Because you are enough. You are God's chosen vessel. And every tear that you ever cried, you're so special to him that he said that he actually captured them in a bottle. And he remembers that. But if you just hold on, just know that he's right there. You're not alone. I know it feels like it. you don't even have to tell me. I know that it feels like you're alone, but you're not.
Right.
You just hold on. And every moment you're getting a little bit more strength. Yeah, the doubt is going to come again, but that's okay. That's okay. But every moment you're getting a little bit more strength. And then you're going to rise up and you're going to be like that eagle that he's called you to be. It's all good. It's all for our making because once again, all things work together for our good.
I love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow. Well, we're going to move into our closing segment, and it's called Matters of the Heart Moment. And the first question is, if you had the opportunity to speak to your 4-year-old self, what would you say to her?
Have fun, girl. Just have fun. You know, because just play, listen to your mommy.
Right.
And your daddy.
Right.
And just have fun with life. Just go out there and play. Don't try to grow up too doggone fast, honey. I promise you, just enjoy being 4 years old. Enjoy going in that room and cleaning up when they tell you to pick your little toys up and make up your little bed. Baby, enjoy all of that. Enjoy it all. Don't rush the process because it's coming. And once it comes, you cannot revert back. So enjoy where you are.
Okay. What is the best, I call it pearls of wisdom you've ever received?
I believe I'm going to have to say with my godmother, Loretta Willis. I call her my play mom because she's been like a mom to me since my mom has passed. I met her when I was in the military when I was, 19 or 20 years old, and we still in relationship as of now. So I thank God for that. And she always would tell me, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better. Just hold on. It will be better. So just having that faith that tomorrow will be better.
Yeah. And I wanted you to, even with that, with serving as far as in the military, how was that experience?
Oh, wow. It's an honor to serve our country in any type of way that you can. So for that, I'd say thank you that I had that opportunity. But it was hard.
Okay.
It was hard, but I had a lot of good moments, but I had quite a few bad moments, but challenging moments. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
I was the first black female. I was the first black female to integrate a military base back in the early 90s, although no recognition for that, but that was a horrific experience in regards to, hey, I'm the only female on this base with all these white guys, and they did not want me there.
Okay, no, that's real. How many years did you serve, and what leg of the Army?
I was in the Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard, and I served for 9 years. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
we did search and rescue, going out on the boats and rescuing people that was in the water. We did search and rescue for his boarding boats to make sure there wasn't any drugs or stowaways and stuff like that. So I had some fun now because, not a lot of ladies can say they actually was out there on that water, carrying an M16 gun, being bad, but,
Ooh, look at you. So you do know how to handle, you can handle the weapons. Look, all right, you know how to do it. How, as it relates to being the only...
That was my former life.
Okay. What, as far as being the only woman, how long were you the only woman there?
I think it was little less than a year.
Okay.
I had, some racial challenges there, to say the least. So they had to get me out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to get me out of there, and so they transferred me someplace else.
Okay. All right. Well, Awesome. Well, is there anything, any last minute comments you have?
I just want to say thank you to you. I mean, you're doing an amazing job. This is really, really a awesome platform to be able to, you're speaking life, and to the women and to all of the audience that listen. So I just want to say kudos to you for a job well done and such an amazing platform that you have here.
Well, thank you, Crystal. I definitely appreciate that. It means a lot, with you saying that. And I just thank you so much for being with us and for you sharing a piece of your world with us. So we're grateful to have you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And our goal at the Flora Pearl Foundation is to always be a blessing to all of those that we come in contact with by operating with the spirit of excellence. We want to thank you all so much for listening today. And you can visit our website at www.florapearlfoundation.org. We look forward to spending time with you all each week, and we will talk to you soon.